Welcome to Dose with Grace. I hope you're doing well and taking very good care of yourself. Today, I'm going to talk about a topic that is something that is touching all of us, enveloping all of us, and is one of the most misunderstood and unfortunately undiscussed topic in the areas where it should be most openly, most happily discussed. Yes, I'm talking about ahankar, ego, which is, according to Bhagavad Gita, one of the three main gateways to hell. And here, by hell, I'm not meaning a place, I'm meaning a state of consciousness. Ego, ahankar, only leads to destruction of self, leads to lowering of our sense of understanding of the world within and outside. It harms everything. It harms not just us, but it harms our relationships, it harms our existence in the society, it harms, most importantly, our connection with the divine, which is why all these harms happen. The guidance is obstructed, the purity is obstructed, and then we go towards the path of degradation. This is a very, very important topic, and I had a very recent personal revelation to my own ego, and that is why I want to bring this up, because it is so less discussed in the right way. Though we all talk about it as a demon, don't have ego, but we don't address it in a way that makes us automatically embrace a sense of humility, a sense of anuima, smallness, so that we can be more godlike, we can be more divine in our mind, in our soul, and be more peaceful in our existence. There is different type, there is so many there are so many types of ego, and just to give you an example, there is an ego that comes from a kind of parentage you come from. If you have good parents who are well educated, have a name in society, there's an ego that comes with it. If you have a good education, there's an ego that comes with the education. I'm so educated, I'm so and so degrees. There's an ego that comes with your profession. There's an ego that comes with having a good spouse, either male or female. There's an ego that comes with having a good family of your own, healthy children, beautiful looking children, well brought up children. There's an ego that society brings in you through these compliments, constantly pouring in you. Very recently, one of my friends mentioned to me that someone in her family scored a 99.8% or 98.9% or something like that. And she said, oh my God, her next sentence was, don't you think now I'll have to tell my child this example and how much pressure it is for children? Look, we gave so much importance to someone else scoring so high that now we are stressed about how much our child will score. Because there's a certain ego attached to being a certain way in society. And for those who are in that way, there is a huge ego. She also mentioned in the same breath that mother of the child, who had never called her relatives, has now been calling each one of them, informing about the child's result. And honestly speaking, this ego of wanting to get the credits, wanting to be known as the mother or a father of a child who is extremely well scored, is also an ego. The ego of reputation, the ego of success, the ego of wealth, the ego of parentage, the ego of having a beautiful life partner, the ego of being so beautiful, being a person who's very good looking and very smart. I remember when I was during my pageant days, I was given this compliment very often. Oh, you don't even look like you're married. And I had two children. I had a daughter who was about 14 or 15 at that time. And this kind of compliments when you get, it's very easy to get attached to your physicality, your physical identity of being very pretty and very much in a certain looking in a certain way that awes people. So there are so many times this society gives you an opportunity, gives you a temptation to have ego, because that is what this world is all about, Maya. However, it is your own discretion, your own sense of discretion to not let, to discriminate between what is right. Yeah, it is what is truth, doesn't need to become an ego. It doesn't need to become an ahankar. But what is not true should not be even taken as a compliment. Suppose if someone told me you look like a 16-year-old, that's ridiculous. I won't even take that compliment. But if someone says you look good, that is not a false compliment, but that shouldn't build an ego. Someone tells you you come from a very good family, that's truth, but it shouldn't build an ego. Because that is something that has come through the lineage coming from God. That's like a prasad of God. I don't have to feel proud of it. I'm grateful for it, but not proud of it. So very recently, one of my gurus, like I said in my previous video, I had many gurus. I learned from many people. I cannot even thank each one of them enough, who have kept me on this path of swadhyay, understanding myself better over the years. And one of such gurus who I recently contacted for a consultation, and she happened to see something and she mentioned that, oh, you have this thing very well placed, but then this can give you a sense of ego. And I thought, no, I don't have. I rather feel very blessed. And she pointed that out to me. She said, when do you say you are blessed? That means you have an ego. I'm a housewife. I don't go out and work and earn. And I said, I'm blessed to be living this life. I'm blessed that I have this family around me. My last video was all about gratitude. That I'm blessed that I have a family around me that allows me to sit after doing my chores of the day, after doing my household work, after doing my duties as a mother and a wife. I have enough time for myself to sit and pray, to do my chantings, to be able to remember God the way I like to remember, and to learn from different gurus. In these digital media, we have a plethora of people that we can learn from, and different sources we can learn from. So I do self-study, and I felt so blessed to be able to have this journey for almost 20 years. I've been married for 20 years. To be able to have that consistently was a blessing. But then she pointed out to me, no, this is your ego. This is your ego. And a very subtle ego that has crept into you, which we do not understand, apart from the egos that I mentioned, that can come from good family, good money, good profession, maybe good family, having certain status symbols like cars, house, good clothes, good jewelry and all that. There's another ego that comes in when you go on a path of self-realization, the ego which is called a spiritual ego, that I am blessed. There is one kind of spiritual ego which says that I'm better than others. But here, that is a much greater ego, but more subtle ego, and therefore more dangerous ego is not when you say you're better than others, but you say, I am so blessed. That is an ego where you want to still show. You still want to show that I am so good. Look, I prayed and I got benefits of prayer. I am blessed. Not everybody has this privilege that maybe they want to really sit at home and, take care of their home, take care of their children, and also do a lot of self study. But they don't get that chance because of certain circumstance in their life. And because of those circumstances, they really go out and slog and earn and make their family financially more capable. They're equally doing the duty towards God. They're equally doing bhakti. This is their way of bhakti. So when I say I'm more blessed, well, I never said I'm more blessed, but if I say I'm blessed, I am trying to show that whatever I wanted, I got it. This is ahankar. This is ego. A very small but subtle form of ego that comes from spirituality. And when I understood that from my guru, I was so awakened by her. This was such a revelation that I realized, oh my God, ego can creep in such subtle ways into our mind. Then, after a couple of days, as I was thinking over it, why did she say that? And I was trying to reflect upon it. Because I had remembered clearly, I never ever felt in my mind, even in my thoughts or in my words, I never said better than others. That's a very bad ego. If you ever think, feel, or say that you're better than others, I think that is the greatest illusion you're living in. No one is better than the other. Everyone is equally blessed in their own way, and everyone is progressing in their own way in the eyes of God. No one is ahead, no one is behind. Every journey is so unique. So first of all, this whole illusion in the world that I have achieved, I am successful because I'm better than the others, is a biggest myth and a mirage. If you're happy, if you're contented, if you're fulfilled, and if you live in a more peaceful existence, and people around you feel that energy from you, if you remain humble and continue serving with the same zeal in whichever profession you are, even if you're a housewife like me, but if you continue in the same rhythm despite any ups and downs of your mind and feelings and emotions, then that is where you are successful. Again, you are successful, not more successful than the others, but then you're successful. But if any of this is not working for you, if any of this is going up and down, despite external things that you're achieving, then you have to work on yourself. But here the point I would like to make, and the admission that I like to make, yes, I was in an ego. I was in this ego that I am blessed. I should rather have a frame of mind which says, I still have ego, that I feel I have received this from God. I have received as a kripa of God. I must rather focus on what is it that I am serving with. Am I serving with humility? Am I serving with love? Am I serving with the blessings of grace? Am I always in gratitude? That is what matters. And if I am, there is no need to make a projection of it on the outside. Because even in our shastras, even in our scriptures, it's clearly written, do not showcase your bhakti. You can sing the praises of God. You can create that satsang in which you talk about the glories of God, but do not talk about your self-glory. This is self-glory, that I have received so much love from God. I have received so much peace and stability in my life from God. I have received... No. Understand it. It's a very subtle thing. You may think, Arey, why not? You should. And this is exactly what I thought when I was told by my guru. I thought, why not? What is the art of manifestation? It is this only, you should say I'm blessed. You should say, but then that is again coming from a sense of ego. Ego that I am receiving. I have got it. That is an ego, isn't it? I have got a good car. We talk about it to everybody. My child has got high marks. We talk about it. So similarly is this. I pray to God and I've got so much peace. I pray to God and my family supports me. All of this is anyway the glory of God, but it is to be kept to yourself. If we learn to keep it to ourselves, that means we have overcome ego. And 2 days later, as I was understanding and internalizing her message, I learned from again. So, by the way, this was told to me by Dr. Richa Shukla. She's an amazing astrologer. And more so after this consultation, I would say that she is an amazing guru in my life. She has given me amazing directions. Always, some of them may look very straightforward, but that's who she is. Because Sanj ko aanch nahi. Truth doesn't have to be decorative. Truth doesn't have to be sweetly presented. Truth is truth. Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Truth is beautiful because truth is Shiv. And this is what she is in my life. And pranam to her. She showed me that there was an ego, a very subtle ego creeping in me. 2 days later, when I internalized her message, Sri Premanandji, whose videos we watch on YouTube, I was also watching. And there was a lady who had come with a question to him, and she did ask him this question. She said, I do seva of Bal Gopal, and he has given me so much. And there Premanandji stopped her. He said, and she said, I do seva of Laddu Gopal. So she prays to Shri Krishna as a Laddu Gopal, as a child. So he said, that's very nice that you do seva of Shri Krishna as a Laddu Gopal, and you do his like taking care, bathing and all of that. But do you know who he is? Even before he was to be born to Devaki and later to Yashoda, he has shown them multiple times that, Mother, I am coming to you as a child. In the womb, through womb of Devaki, I am going to be coming and avtarit honga. But, and to Yashoda ji, he told, I am coming and sitting in your lap and playing with you, and you're running after me and scolding me. All that is fine. But do you know, I am the Param Brahm. I am the Vishnu. I am the Narayan. So many times during the Leela of Sri Krishna, you will see that he has opened his mouth and he's shown the entire Brahman, the entire cosmos inside his mouth, many universes inside his mouth. This was his way of letting those mortals know that though I am coming in the form of a child to you, but I am Vishnu. I am the Narayan. Remember that too. So both Devaki and Yashoda, though they treated him like son, but with the consciousness that we are blessed to have him as son, we are serving him as son, and they were scolding him also and all of that, but they had this knowledge in their head that he is Narayan. He is not actually a child. He is taken an avatar of a child for the benefit of humankind. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudanam adharmasya tadatmanam srajanyam. So this is again and again he takes birth in this world for the benefit of humankind, to establish dharma. So that knowledge should not go out of the mind. He told that woman, stop saying this, that I am blessed. He has given me. The moment she started opening her mouth to say that he has given me this, he said, don't say it. This is your ahankar. This is your ego talking. You are serving God. Even though you call him Laddu Gopal, you call him like you have the Vatsalya Bhav. You have the love towards God in the form of how the mother loves a child. But you don't have to say all this that he has given me, but this is giving you an ego. That look, I prayed and I got this in return. This is ego. For a true bhakt, for a true devotee, the only thought should be, I don't know if I'm doing enough. I don't know if I love enough. I don't know if I dedicate my duties enough. That is the true bhakt, who's constantly immersed. He said, do you even know what are the glories of true bhaktas? There is one Keelmani, there is one of the rishis who was in complete devotion to God and chanting the name of God, and the king came from the front and he wanted this yogi to stand up because he's the king. And the yogi was completely deeply immersed in his chanting, in his dhyan. And the king thought, okay, maybe he's just doing this as a, not to get up and respect me. He's doing all this show off. So he put a big nail, a very big nail, he put it inside his this part. And that rishi did not even move. He was completely not conscious of what physical pain he was being endowed with. So Premanandanji explained, do you know, these are the real bhaktas. And we do this much bhakti and we start saying, I got this, I got this, I got this, and we get into this ego. And because of that ego, you know what is the biggest downfall? Your bhakti stops. Why I'm giving this explanation is my own bhakti stopped. I have been constantly keeping the fast, Monday fast, which I probably even said in my last video. And look, this Monday fast, which happened just now, I couldn't keep that fast. I didn't feel well enough and I just kept eating through the day. And since that day, I've been doing my chanting, and this realization became clear to me. I apologized first to God for getting into that state of ego, which I had not even realized that I was developing. This thankfulness, telling people that, oh, I'm so thankful for this, I'm thankful for this. Basically, in a way, I'm trying to show the benefits of spirituality. The real benefit of being spiritual, the real benefit of being a devotee is to receive the love of God. Things that happen for you is not the benefit, it is the entanglement back. It will happen anyway, but that should not become your prime focus. Unfortunately, it creeps in, and that is what is a spiritual ego, getting attached to the benefits of praying. And that is where somewhere I had got into the wrong road of being egoistic. I admit my mistake. I apologize to God. As soon as I realized this with ultimate clarity, I even apologized to my guru. I wrote to her and she was so great. I'm so grateful. She was such a gracious guru that she actually replied to me saying that this is a better understanding. And her forgiveness meant a world to me. I also thanked Sri Premananji for making this even more clear. Though I was deliberating on it, what my guru had said for 2 days, but then he made it very clear. So I'm grateful to Dr. Richa Shukla for showing me the light. I'm grateful to Sri Premananji for making it clear. And that is what makes me understand today the only way to clean your system from ego, which will keep creeping. It's impossible in this world of Maya, in this life of Maya, not this world of Maya. In every yuga there will be Maya. To cleanse yourself, not get rid of, but to as much cleanse yourself and be sakshi to your ego. The best remedy is to have satsang, to always believe in your gurus, to always be grateful for their guidance, to be humble, accept what they say to you with great humility, and instantly ask for forgiveness. I am so grateful to my gurus in my life, and I ask for their forgiveness. I'm grateful that my guru forgave me, and I'm back into more clarity and with more humility into the real devotion, which is to just do my bit and remain small, remain humble, and as much as possible cleanse my ego from time to time. I don't know when next this attack will come, another attack of ego. So, but if I keep myself in check by the end of the day before sleeping, if we can do this small exercise of going through your day and just be a sakshi, just be a witness to your day. And if there's anything that you feel with your right discretion that didn't go well, was not right, ask, sit with a pure mind, pure heart, and ask for forgiveness. And tell yourself Ask for forgiveness from your God. Ask for forgiveness from that person in your own mind. If you can't even tell them, that's fine. Ask for forgiveness from God first, from that person, and then tell yourself that I make this pledge that at least this mistake I will not repeat again. As much as you pledge this and stay true to your pledge, then all our bad karmas are also forgiven. Reading of scriptures gives us the sense of discretion, which is so important. And satsang reminds of all these things that we have read in scriptures. I know that I've read it in Bhagavad Gita, but I had to be reminded again. And because of Dr. Richa Shukla and Premanandji, I'm so great that this clarity came. I'm humbled, I'm grateful, and I'm back with better clarity. So I hope you have learned something from this expression, very honest admission. And I hope in your life also, if you're facing some obstruction, just go back. Maybe in a day, take some time off to just go back to your activities as a witness and see the places where you're getting obstructed. What could be the reason from your end that you can think of? Trust me, 99% the reason will be your own ahamkar, your own ego. And if you just at least know it, 50% of the battle is won. The next 50% is, of course, to admit it, to internalize it, to ask for forgiveness and pray for strength to never ever repeat at least that mistake again. With this, I would like to conclude this video. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.